Kings Creek Country Club. Beautiful day here at the club. Again, unfortunately, we're unable to go outside to play tennis or pickleball, but we are hoping that things will open up shortly, and we'll be back on the courts in the next few weeks. It's been, without a doubt, it's been frustrating, but we're all going to get through it, and we're all going to get through it together. So I'm looking forward to seeing everybody come back on the court. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to start with pickleball today, and we're just going to do some ups. Again, I had the foam ball. We have the foam ball, so if you want to do it in the house, the foam ball won't break anything. And we're just going to stand up and nice and lightly, we're just going to try to keep it under control without moving your feet, and just warm up and do about 10 or 15, and then flip back over to the backhand side just to get some control. And you can really feel it in your extensor muscles for sure, in your forearm, especially if you're using a tennis racket. And then you can do your flip-flops through here. And again, you can use either the foam ball that we have here, you could pick up at the club, or of course you could use your pickleball as well, okay? And the next thing I want you to do is tap, tap, high. Tap, tap, high. Tap, tap, high. And then tap, tap, high. And the reason why you're doing that is when you're up at the net, and if you're playing and somebody hits a hard ball and you've got two of your opponents behind the baseline, if you soften your hands just a little bit, the ball won't come off the racket as hard, and you can hit that little dropper, which hopefully stays down low. They come in, they got to get down nice and low to go get it. They're going to have to hit up on the shot, and if they hit up too high, boom, you're going to be able to get a nice, easy, high put away after the next shot. So you can hear the difference maybe, and probably not, but it's soft, and then a hard noise. Soft, and then a hard noise. And then you can do it off the backhand side. Tap it, and then hard. Tap, tap, and then hard. Tap, tap, and then hard. Okay? And of course you could do your flip-flops. Okay? And then hard. Through there. All right, great. And again, you could do that either with the tennis racket or with the paddle, with the pickleball paddle. One of the biggest mistakes that I see that a lot of 3.0, 3.5 players do is when they come up to the no volley zone or the kitchen, come right up to the kitchen, is they come up, and again, their hands are too close to their bodies, okay? When you come up, you want to extend your arms, and for a lefty, I'm left-handed, my racket is going to be pointed to 1 o'clock. If I was right-handed, my hand is in front of me, and the racket is pointed towards 11. Why do we do that? In my opinion, it's much easier that if somebody hits the ball hard to me, for me to be able to block it, and block it with my backhand off of that side, as opposed to if I had my racket here, it would take me much longer to get back over and recover to my backhand side. Another thing is too, what you want to do is when you're playing and you get into a real fast exchange up at the net, what you want to do is you want to hit the person off of their hip. Okay, and what's going to happen is we call that being handcuffed, okay, or this is going to feel a little bit like a chicken wing, okay. There's a difference between trying to hit somebody and trying to hit in a different zone, so I don't advocate for anybody to hit anybody, okay, but if you're going to aim off of the right hip for a righty, the left hip for a lefty, trying to handcuff us as you go through. In tennis, it's a little bit different. In tennis, when I'm up at the net, okay, I try to keep my hands right out in front of me straight away. So if it's 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 11 o'clock, I keep my hands straight out in front of me, and I always want to remember that no matter how hard they hit that first ball to me, I never want to feel like the ball's on top of me. Even if I miss the shot, I still want my opponents to see that I'm moving forward when I hit the shot. So, so important. Pickleball, a little different because you're on the no volley line, which you can see right here, and what I want to do is just block it, okay? Of course, if the ball bounces, then I'm allowed into the no volley zone, but if the ball is, if I'm volleying it and the ball's in the air, all I want to do is just block it as I go to hit the shot. Okay, what I'm going to do now is we'll do a little conditioning, okay? And we're going to use, as you can see, we have our court line, and this is approximately the same size of a pickleball court, okay? It's because we're inside, and you know we play some inside dinking during the course of the winter here at the club. It's just 6 inches shorter off of each side, which is not going to make a big difference. So what we're going to do is we're going to do 3 20-second reps, and I'll have Spaska watch the clock for me, and she'll tell me when to go. All right?
Go, Steve.
Go. So here, we go to the backhand side, cross over, go to the forehand, cross over to the backhand. 3, 4, 5, 6. Notice how I'm crossing over my legs. I'm putting all my weight on my outside foot. My racket head is above my wrist. I'm staying down nice and low, like I'm sitting on a chair. I'm not bending over this way, okay? And I'm recovering by pushing my outside leg to get me back into the court.
Done.
Okay, good. And then we'll have a 15-second recovery. And again, you could do this with a partner, okay? And you can do it where you're both facing each other. If it's a lefty-righty, you both start off going to the forehand or to the backhand side. If it's a righty-righty or lefty-lefty combination, one will be doing a forehand, one will be doing a backhand. But you try to keep up with each other and try to give yourself some goals, okay? So Spaska, tell me when to start for my next rep.
Go.
Okay, so here, boom. Crossover, outside foot, crossover, outside foot. A little bit different in tennis because the court is bigger, so I'm just going to show you what you do on a tennis court. I would shuffle, shuffle, then step forward, shuffle, shuffle, then step forward. For tennis. In pickleball, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to cross over, outside foot, I'm out of the kitchen, okay, and I'm keep going through. And again, notice how I stay down nice and low, and my hands stay in front of me.
Done.
Whew. I think Spaska's giving me more than 20 seconds. She's enjoying it. She's got a big smile on her face right now.
You're doing great.
Tell me when I got 15-second recovery.
Okay.
Go.
Go.
Cross over, outside foot. Cross over, outside foot.
Five seconds.
Good.
And done.
Great. And that's another drill. We did this again when I was coaching in Cornell and West Point. I called that the Arizona drill. Of course, it was tennis. It was a wider court, and when we shuffled, and then came across, because we had a much wider zone to be able to cover. Okay? So that's our conditioning aspect. Now, the next thing is we could do a little recovery, and we're gonna start hitting the ball. Again, I really recommend coming to the club, picking up one of these foam balls. It won't break anything, it won't hurt anybody, okay? And you can practice in a very small space, as you can see what I'm doing right here. Notice I have 2 lines. This is the net, it's 34 inches high, and this is just a zone which I'm gonna try to aim for, okay? Just try to get it, and then again, I'm gonna just go with forehand volleys and just give myself a goal of 10. And this is a little abbreviated right here. This is just an idea of some of the things that you could be doing. Just write it down. Just do your 10, give yourselves goals, give yourself obtainable goals. If you can't do 10, do 5. The next time do 7, okay? But try to better yourself each time. And then you're gonna be doing it off of the backhand side. And again, notice how low I stay. My knees are bent. I'm sitting on a chair. And my hand is very relaxed. The only time I squeeze, and I don't have to tell myself to squeeze, it's just a subconscious reaction. I'll squeeze just as I know I'm about to make contact. If not, I want to keep very relaxed, very loose hands. And then the third one is flip-flops. Anybody on?
Yep, 6 people.
Cool. Say hello to everyone for me.
Hello from Steve, everyone.
All right, so there's our flip-flops through there, okay? Then the next thing you could do is, the next line that I put down on the court is the no volley line, okay? And I would stay behind that, and I would just work on my dinks. And that's where that second line comes into play. Okay? I don't want to get my dink up too high like that. The ball's going to bounce high, the people are going to volley it, and they're going to rip the ball at you. So I want to keep nice, soft hands. Okay? And remember, now that the ball is bouncing, I am allowed to stand in the kitchen, but notice how after I stand, I recover behind, because the next shot may come back at me, and I'd have to be volleying that behind the kitchen. So you can see that I'm being pretty consistent in keeping it between the two lines. And the next one is the forehand side. And again, give yourself goals, okay? So you say stuff, if you get it inside the two lines, you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 4, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, and then you would do that off of both sides as well. And the third thing you want to do is, I like working on my serve. I see a lot of people come out here during the course of the week and work on their serve, okay? It's not an offensive shot like in tennis where you can dominate the game in tennis having a big serve. This shot is somewhat where you're just really just starting off the point, but still you can still put pressure on your opponent by moving it right and left, short and deep, okay, through the stroke. So what I like to do is, again, I use the two lines, hitting the ball right out of my hand, and there's 1 right there above the line. 1, I missed. Oh my gosh. 2, 3, and notice how 4, how consistent I am keeping it right in between those two lines. 5, 6, nope, missed that one. 6, 7, a little bit
8.
high. 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, so you see I'm hitting a fairly flat serve right there. Now, the thing is, it's probably the easiest serve to hit. Flat, maybe just a little bit of topspin, but what happens when you do that? That ball is rotating this way, and when it hits the surface, it hits and bounces up high. So one of the things that I like to do in pickleball is I like to hit a slice serve. Okay, not a first serve, and we get one chance. And my slice serve looks like that, where I really drop the racket head, come through with very relaxed hands, okay? And I'm putting underspin. I'm slicing the ball, and the ball, is now spinning this way, so when it hits and it sticks, okay? And the ball stays low. The lower you can keep the ball in either tennis or pickleball, the net becomes more of an issue, because the person's got to bend down and they have to hit up. Okay, if the ball is up high, my philosophy is, if any ball that's hit up high here, I try to really rip the ball, okay? Because I just try to go through it as though it's like a beeline and just try to get it straight over the net, and I don't have to worry about the net. I just say, if it's above 34 inches, which is about where my height of my waist is, I just try to rip it through there. The thing that I don't want to be is I don't want to be stubborn, and if the ball's down here, and say, oh, now I'm going to rip it, because now my ball's going to have to go up and over, okay? And if it goes up and over, and if I hit it high, and I don't get enough topspin on it to get that ball traveling and coming down, that ball's going to hit the fence, okay? But if I hit it up here and hit it flat, and still that ball should be able to go in. So that's a great drill, in my opinion, to do. And you can do both. You can work on both a flat serve, a topspin serve, or the slice serve. Work on it. You have those 2 marks right there. You can even make, if you want, I didn't do it, okay, but I can make this into a box, okay, if that will help you in that regard. Okay, we're going to go back to having a little conditioning, and we're going to use our cowbell again. All right, and so, okay, Spassky, you can stay right there, that's fine.
Mr. Licard said hi.
So, we're going to use our cowbell, and we're going to do what we did last week. We're going to do the figure eights. I got some feedback from some people saying that they love this drill, that it really worked on their flexibility. It worked on having good hip and shoulder rotation. So you're going to go in front, behind, pull, go in front, behind, pull, front, behind, pull, and extend, behind, pull. What's that, 4?
Yes. 5,
5,
6,
7, and if you don't have a cowbell, 8, you can use a can, 9, 10, okay? And now we're going to do it off of the forehand side or your backhand side, okay? So we're going to go here, we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm a little winded. I haven't played tennis in a long time or pickleball, so let's take a little bit out of me. All right, then the next thing we're going to use again. We're going to use the cowbell. Again, you don't necessarily have to. You can even use a chair if you want. First, I'll do it with the chair. And what you're going to do is you're just going to sit in the chair, go with your outside foot, get up, stroke, come back, sit down, and stroke. Now, again, I'm using the book. I'm weighting this racket down. It's pretty heavy. You can use, again, you can use either your tennis racket or your pickleball paddle. Either one, that's fine, okay? Just use masking tape. Don't use one piece of tape, use a bunch. I have about 5 or 6 strips right around here, or the book will go flying, okay? So we could do it with a chair, or we could do it with the cowbell. So I would go here, I go here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then I would pick up my racket and I would go 1, tap, tap, 2, recover by sidestepping, tap, tap, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I don't know if you guys can see it, but I do have my forehand grip right now. I don't have my volley grip. I have my forehand. Okay, I do my 10 off of there. Go back to the cowbell again and do my 10 reps again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then I would go back to my backhand side. I go to my outside leg. I go open stance, stroke through it, recover, outside stance, open stance, recover, here through, getting my power from my outside leg. Again, remember, I'm left-handed. 5, I think that's 5. 6. 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, that feels good. I gotta tell you, once I pick up my regular racket, this thing feels like a feather. God, it feels so light. It's awesome. Okay, so the other thing, next drill we're going to do is we're going to be moving little feet, open stance, and then hit a forehand, moving forward, okay? Again, this is more of a tennis drill, but you could use it for pickleball as well. Okay, so I'm just moving my feet. 1, side step, tap, 2, 3, outside leg, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Again, my feeling, if you think about this, what is the first thing to go on an athlete when they get older? It's every athlete, the first thing to go is their wheels, okay? All right, so their wheels. So they'll slow, they become slower, the reaction comes slower. So you can work on this. I'm not gonna say you're all gonna end up like a 20-year-old again, okay? But work on this. This is so, so important. For me personally, because I teach so much, I've become more dominant off of my forehand side because I'm feeding balls, especially in tennis, off of the forehand side. And because of that, and I've stayed hours and hours, I mean, especially when I'm doing clinics or camps, I could be on the court for 6 hours straight only doing forehands, okay? But when I played, when I grew up, my backhand was my stronger stroke, okay? But what's happening now, because in tennis especially, because I have about 1.5 to 2 foot less reach going to the backhand side, I become lazy and I step across and then I reach, as opposed to taking the extra steps to hit the ball so it's closer to my body. Same principle would be holding a 100-pound bag of sand. We've talked about this before. If I hold it this far away, it's going to be very, very heavy. If I hold it here, I have an opportunity to lift it. So anytime you're on the court, whether you're on pickleball or tennis, and you see someone reaching for a shot, the response you're probably going to get is going to be weak. So start to move in. So let's go back to the backhand side, and then tapping my feet, little feet, open stance, recover, little feet. I think that's 4.
Yes.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Great. Okay. And again, this is something you don't have to have a lot of room in your house. You could be doing it right, in your living room or your dining room. Okay. So let me just move these away a little bit. And again, on this next drill, depending upon how hard you want to work, whether you want to use your racket with a book, or use your pickleball paddle, or your tennis racket, whichever one. And now I'm going to be using the step. So
I'm going.
Come back over this side. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm going outside foot, open stance, tap, tap, outside foot, tap, tap, 2, 3, tap, tap, 4, notice, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now remember, if you're doing this at your house and your steps are going up this way, you're not going to be able to go over to the other side. So what I'm going to have to do to go back to my backhand side is I'll have to turn around, okay? So Spassky, you want to...
Oh, you're going to do it around. Okay.
Yep. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And now I'm going to do my backhand side. Remember, your steps are going up this way, okay? So for my backhand side, 1, up, tap, tap, 2, tap, tap, 3, tap, tap, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. All right. So you can see you can easily do this on your steps, okay, as well. This one, of course, you're not going to be able to do on your steps, but you're going to need something. Not sure what you could really use, but be creative. And this works on closing. This works on closing. And I'm a big fan of this with the footwork, doing the closing, because a lot of people just step into it and then they recover backwards. So you'll notice that I don't do that. I'll be moving forward. So I go up on my outside leg, all my weight's on my outside leg, I push, moving forward, I recover with a split step, and then I backpedal. So 1, 2, and we're doing volleys. 3, 4, 5, 6. Outside foot, 7. 8. 9. 10. Now, I do this a lot of drills where you go around the cone and in front of the cone. A couple of things that you'll notice when I'm backpedaling, when I backpedal, I don't take giant steps. I take little steps plus. You probably didn't notice I'm up on the balls of my feet, okay? I'm not flat-footed. So you could, again, you could do this either with a, you could do this with a paddle, you could do this with a
Pickleball.
pickleball paddle, or you could do it with a tennis racket. Now, what I'm going to do is, you notice that I'm close to the kitchen line right now. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, volley. I'm not stepping forward. 1, 2, 3, 2. 1, 2, 3. Almost got the line on that one. 4, 5, 6, and then I go to my outside leg. 2. I'm going to start all over because 3, because the first drill I was using the outside, not the inside. 4. I'm going to be fair to myself. 5, 6, 7, 8,
Mistake.
9, and 10. So notice that when I step forward with my outside leg, I step with this foot. I don't hit and then move back again. Keep moving forward. King of the mountain, king of the net, king of the no volley zone, king of the no volley line. You control that line, you will control the match. Okay, great. All right, and then the last one is, we have a popular jump rope, okay? And depending on what you want to do is, I usually do 1,000, okay? And then I stop. I'm not doing that today, but this is a great tool for you to do. And again, you don't have to have much room. You can do it pretty much in any room in your house. Maybe not the upstairs because everybody will hear you. And you just keep going. I have a plastic jump rope. I've actually had this since high school, and it's my favorite rope. And so I can't do crisscrosses or anything like that. Again, I hope you guys enjoyed this video today. We did a lot of different conditioning, different type of drills for both tennis and for pickleball. Hope you had fun. And again, if you have any questions, contact me. We're going to be out on the course real soon. I can't wait to see everybody again. Take care. Bye.